Development timeline of some Mario sports games. The development timeline for Mario Super Sluggers, a baseball-themed game in the Mario series developed by Namco Bandai Games and published by Nintendo, primarily spans the mid-2000s leading up to its release in 2008. Here's a general breakdown of the development milestones. Early planning and concept. 2005-8 2006 Post-Mario Superstar Baseball success. After the release and success of Mario Superstar Baseball on the GameCube in 2005, Nintendo saw the potential for another Mario baseball game. Concept development. Nintendo and Namco Bandai began initial brainstorming to expand on Mario Superstar Baseball, including improved mechanics, new characters, and innovative gameplay features. Active development phase. 2006-2007 Gameplay mechanics. The development team focused on enhancing gameplay mechanics from the previous installment. They integrated new features for the Wii's motion controls, including swing-based batting and pitching with the Wii Remote. Character and world design. Designers expanded the character roster and refined visuals to fit the Wii's hardware capabilities. They also introduced themed stadiums tied to iconic Mario series characters, adding variety to the game environment. Testing and refinement. 2007-8 Early 2008 playtesting and adjustments. The team conducted extensive playtesting to adjust the sensitivity of motion controls and ensure the game was accessible for both new and returning players. Localization and final edits. In early 2008, localization and additional testing began to ensure the game would be ready for release across different regions. Release. 2008 Japanese release. Mario Super Sluggers was released in Japan on June 19, 2008. North American release. The game launched in North America on August 25, 2008. It was not released in PAL regions, making it a Japan and North America exclusive title. Reception and legacy. Mario Super Sluggers received mixed reviews, with praise for its fun multiplayer mode and accessible gameplay, though some critics felt the game didn't innovate enough beyond its predecessor. Despite this, the game has retained a fan following, especially among Mario sports game enthusiasts. Overall, Mario Super Sluggers is remembered as an engaging addition to Mario's sports lineup, highlighting the Wii's motion controls while expanding on baseball gameplay introduced in Mario Superstar Baseball. 4. The development of Mario Tennis for the Nintendo 64, also known simply as Mario Tennis and released in 2000, marked a significant entry in the Mario sports lineup, as it was the first Mario Tennis game in 3D. Here's a timeline and overview of the development stages. Early development. Late 1998, early 1999 developer, Camelot Software Planning, which had experience developing golf and tennis games, was tasked with creating Mario Tennis. Camelot was also responsible for Mario Golf and had a close relationship with Nintendo, particularly with producer Shigeru Miyamoto. Concept and planning. Nintendo and Camelot wanted to create a sports title that was both accessible for casual players and deep enough to appeal to more competitive gamers. The game's target was to bring a balanced, fun sports experience to the Nintendo 64 with the familiar Mario Kart. Mid-development, 1999 graphics and gameplay mechanics. Camelot focused on making the game feel fast and fluid. They worked on implementing realistic ball physics within the constraints of the Nintendo 64 hardware, while maintaining a cartoony feel that matched the Mario universe. Character roster. This installment introduced several new characters, including the fan-favorite Waluigi, who was created as Wario's doubles partner. The inclusion of Waluigi added a new dynamic to the game and the Mario universe. Game modes. Camelot also developed various gameplay modes, including singles, doubles, and multiplayer options. They added minigames and training modes to give players additional content beyond the standard matches. Late development, early, mid-2000 refinements and testing. This phase focused on refining the game's mechanics and ensuring smooth multiplayer gameplay, as well as refining each character's unique playstyle. Nintendo and Camelot conducted extensive testing to ensure balance, especially for multiplayer. Link with Game Boy Color version. The Game Boy Color version of Mario Tennis was developed alongside the Nintendo 64 version, allowing players to unlock additional content by linking the two games via the transfer pack. This feature added depth, giving players incentives to explore both versions. Release: July 2000 in Japan, August 2000 in North America, November 2000 in Europe. Launch and reception: Mario Tennis released to positive reviews, with praise for its accessible yet deep gameplay and multiplayer features. It helped solidify Mario's presence in the sports genre. Legacy and impact: Character impact: The debut of Waluigi left a lasting impression on fans, expanding the Mario character roster and adding a new iconic personality. Influence on future titles: Mario Tennis for the Nintendo 64 set the standard for future Mario sports games, and its success led to sequels on later consoles. The success of Mario Tennis established the series as a staple in Nintendo's lineup, influencing its many sequels and securing a place as one of the definitive multiplayer sports games on the Nintendo 64. The development of Mario Tennis Aces was undertaken by Camelot Software Planning and published by Nintendo. It was a notable title in the Mario Tennis series, representing a shift in gameplay style that emphasized both traditional tennis mechanics and new RPG-like features. Here's an overview of the game's development timeline. Early stages and concept: 2015–2016 Initial concept: After Mario Tennis, Ultra Smash, 2015, on the Wii U received mixed reviews. Nintendo and Camelot aimed to refresh the Mario Tennis series with a more innovative title for the upcoming Nintendo Switch. Feedback suggested the need for deeper mechanics and a story mode similar to the Mario Tennis RPG elements from earlier handheld entries. Technical considerations: Since the Nintendo Switch was new hardware, Camelot explored its technical possibilities. The goal was to combine action with strategic tennis gameplay while utilizing the Switch's portability. Development process: 2016–2018 Gameplay focus: The team wanted to create gameplay that would appeal to both casual and competitive players, focusing on the zone shot mechanic, which lets players slow down time and precisely aim their shots. Other features, like the trick shot and special shots, were also introduced to add more skill-based gameplay elements. Return of story mode: Responding to fan requests, Camelot brought back a story mode. Aces incorporated boss battles and a light storyline where Mario faces various tennis-related challenges in a world with unique environments. Visual and audio design: Graphics were optimized for the Switch, with the bright, cartoony look. Music and sound effects were revamped, giving characters and environments a fresh appeal. Announcement during marketing: 2018 reveal: Mario Tennis Aces was officially revealed during a Nintendo Direct presentation in January 2018. The new mechanics and competitive focus were highlighted, and fans were intrigued by the return of the RPG-inspired story mode. Pre-release online tournament: In June 2018, Nintendo launched the pre-release online tournament, allowing players to try the game early. This served both as a promotional tool and a way to gather feedback to fine-tune gameplay before launch. Launch and reception: June 2018. Mario Tennis Aces launched on June 22, 2018, to generally positive reviews. Critics praised the gameplay depth and return of the story mode, though some noted the campaign's short length. The game was well received for its accessibility, making it popular among both newcomers and longtime fans. Post-launch updates: 2018–2019. Nintendo released multiple updates and additional characters over time to keep the player base engaged. These included new playable characters, balanced tweaks, and various in-game events that added longevity to the game. Overall, Mario Tennis Aces managed to revitalize the Mario Tennis series by focusing on innovation and competitive play, making it one of the standout entries in the franchise for the Switch platform. Mario Pinball Land, also known as Super Mario Ball in Japan, was developed by Fuse Games and published by Nintendo for the Game Boy Advance in 2004. Here's an overview of its development timeline. Early 2000s. Conceptualization: Nintendo was exploring different ways to expand Mario's reach into new genre. By this time, they had successfully introduced Mario into sports, racing, and puzzle games. The idea of a pinball adaptation was part of Nintendo's strategy to create unique, genre-spanning games from Mario. 2003, development begins. Nintendo partnered with Fuse Games, a British development studio, to bring the pinball concept to life. Fuse Games, founded by ex-Rare employees Adrian Barrett and Richard Horrocks, was known for its expertise in handheld pinball games and would later create Metroid Prime Pinball for the Nintendo DS. 2003 to 2004, design and development. Fuse Games began designing the game with the goal of combining traditional Mario platforming elements with pinball mechanics. They wanted the game to feel more dynamic and adventurous than typical pinball games, integrating boss battles, item collection, and familiar Mario enemies into the pinball gameplay. Late 2003 early 2004, technical challenges. One of the major challenges was creating realistic and satisfying pinball physics on the Game Boy Advance hardware, which had limited processing power. Fuse Games had to optimize the physics engine to ensure that Mario's ball form moved realistically and interactively within each level, while still running smoothly on the handheld system. Mid-2004, testing in Polish. The game went through rigorous testing to fine-tune the pinball mechanics and ensure a good balance of difficulty. Nintendo's QA team worked closely with Fuse Games to fix bugs and enhance the player experience. October 2004, release. Mario Pinball Land was released in North America on October 4, 2004, and in Europe and Japan shortly afterward. Reception was mixed, with some reviewers praising the unique concept but criticizing the controls and difficulty. Though not one of the most famous Mario spin-offs, Mario Pinball Land is notable for its attempt to blend two very different gameplay styles. It remains a unique experiment in Nintendo's portfolio. The Mario Sonic at the Olympic Games series was a major crossover between Nintendo's Mario franchise and Sega's Sonic the Hedgehog franchise. The games were officially licensed by the International Olympic Committee, IOC, and developed by Sega Sports, RD. Here's an overview of the development timeline and milestones. 1. Initial concept and licensing. Early 2000s, Sega had been considering creating a sports game with Sonic characters for some time. However, the idea of a Mario-Sonic crossover was still only a fan wish, as Nintendo and Sega were rivals in the early days of console gaming. 2005 to 2006, Sega approached Nintendo with the idea of a crossover, leveraging the global appeal of both franchises in an Olympic sports format. Both companies recognized the potential in partnering for the Beijing 2008 Olympics, where such a collaboration could bring worldwide attention. 2. Mario Sonic at the Olympic Games, 2007, Beijing 2008 Olympics. 2007 release. The first Mario Sonic at the Olympic Games was released on the Wii and Nintendo DS in late 2007, marking the first official crossover between Mario and Sonic. Gameplay and mechanics. The game included various Olympic events such as track and field, swimming, and gymnastics, utilizing motion controls on the Wii. Reception. The game received mixed to positive reviews but was commercially successful, selling over 10 million copies worldwide. 3. Sequels and ongoing partnership. Mario Sonic at the Olympic Winter Games, 2009, Vancouver 2010, the second game in the series, adding winter sports events on new gameplay features. Mario Sonic at the London 2012 Olympic Games, 2011, focused on the 2012 Summer Olympics in London and introduced new events and mechanics. Mario Sonic at the Sochi 2014 Olympic Winter Games, 2013, the first game exclusively for the Wii U, focusing on winter sports in Sochi. Mario Sonic at the Rio 2016 Olympic Games, 2016, released for both the Wii U and Nintendo 3DS. It was the first game in the series to include Rugby Sevens. 4. Transition to modern consoles. Mario Sonic at the Olympic Games Tokyo 2020, 2019, released for the Nintendo Switch. The game was designed for the Tokyo 2020 Olympics. It featured both 3D and 2D retro-style events that paid homage to the characters' early designs. Development challenges. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic, the Tokyo Olympics were postponed, and while the game's release remained on schedule, it coincided with delays in the actual Olympic event. 5. Future prospects. As of recent years, no new entries have been announced, though the series has left an impact on both fan communities. Sega and Nintendo may consider future installments if international events align, given the series' appeal and track record. The Mario Sonic Olympic series stands out as a bridge between the franchises and reflects both companies' dedication to global events. It's notable for keeping both characters relevant in the context of sports and friendly competition, transcending their original rivalry. 4. The development of Mario Tennis Ultra Smash, a tennis sports game developed by Camelot Software Planning and published by Nintendo for the Wii U, was relatively quick and straightforward compared to some other Mario games. Here's a timeline outlining the key stages of its development and release. 1. Announcement and early development, 2014. 2015. Mid-2014, after the release of Mario Golf World Tour on the Nintendo 3DS, Camelot began working on Mario Tennis Ultra Smash. Camelot had prior experience with the Mario sports games, especially the Mario Tennis series, making them a natural choice for the project. Early development. The goal was to bring a familiar Mario Tennis experience to the Wii U with updated graphics and gameplay features. This installment continued the series' straightforward arcade-style gameplay while utilizing the Wii U's capabilities. 2. Official reveal at E3 2015. June 2015. Mario Tennis Ultra Smash was officially announced during Nintendo's E3 digital event. Nintendo showcased a trailer, highlighting characters, court settings, and a new gameplay mechanic, the Mega Mushroom, which could enlarge characters for brief advantages. The trailer received a mixed reaction. Fans were excited to see Mario Tennis return to a home console, but there were some concerns about the game's simplicity and lack of diverse content. 3. Final development and testing. Mid-2015. Mid-2015, development continued with the focus on refining graphics and incorporating some new mechanics. The team aimed to make the controls accessible to both new players and longtime fans of the series. Focus on multiplayer. The game emphasized multiplayer but limited its online features compared to previous Nintendo games, which would later contribute to criticism. It did not have a robust single-player campaign, focusing more on quick matches and multiplayer experiences. 4. Launch and reception. November 2015. Release date. Mario Tennis Ultra Smash was released on November 20, 2015, in North America, with releases in other regions shortly after. Mixed reception. Upon release, the game received mixed to negative reviews. Critics praised its visuals and core gameplay mechanics but criticized the lack of game modes, limited roster, minimal customization options, and the absence of a proper single-player campaign. Many reviewers felt that Ultra Smash lacked depth and did not live up to previous entries in the series, like Mario Power Tennis. 5. Post-release limited post-launch support. Nintendo and Camelot did not release significant updates or downloadable content for the game, leaving it largely in its original form. Impact on future titles. The feedback from Ultra Smash influenced the development of Mario Tennis Aces for the Nintendo Switch, which included more game modes, an expanded roster, and an actual story mode. Summary. Mario Tennis Ultra Smash was developed within a relatively short time frame and was intended as a straightforward addition to the Wii U lineup. However, its lack of content and minimal features limited its appeal and ultimately made it one of the lesser-received titles in the Mario Sports series. 4. And last, Mario Hoops. Mario Hoops 3-on-3, developed by Square Enix and published by Nintendo, is a unique game in the Mario franchise because it's a Mario-themed sports game made by an outside developer rather than Nintendo itself. Here's an outline of its development timeline. 1. Early development, 2004 to 2005, concept and collaboration. Nintendo and Square Enix began collaborating to develop a basketball game featuring Mario and other Nintendo characters. This was an unusual choice because Square Enix typically focused on RPGs, but Nintendo saw potential for a fresh take on a sports game. Technology and platform. Nintendo DS was chosen for its dual screens, which allowed for innovative gameplay mechanics. Developers used the touchscreen for controls, which was a unique feature at the time for sports games. 2. Gameplay mechanics and design. 2005, Core Gameplay. The Square Enix team, drawing from RPG battle mechanics, added elements like dribbling, passing, and shooting, as well as items and power-ups from the Mario universe. Crossover elements. Square Enix decided to include characters from the Final Fantasy series, a rare crossover in Mario sports titles, which added an exciting dynamic for fans of both franchises. Touchscreen controls. The developers focused heavily on touchscreen mechanics, letting players swipe and tap for various actions. Testing revealed both challenges and opportunities for innovation. 3. Late development. 2005 to 2006, graphics and animation. The graphics were polished to include vibrant visuals consistent with the Mario series. Animation efforts emphasized fluid character movements and action effects, ensuring smooth gameplay. Music and sound. Square Enix's sound team, known for their work on Final Fantasy, composed the soundtrack, giving it a distinct feel different from typical Mario games. Testing and balancing. This phase involved balancing the different characters, items, and power-ups to keep the game fair and enjoyable. Testing with the stylus controls was critical to ensure they were intuitive and responsive. 4. Release and reception. 2006, launch date. Mario Hoops 3-on-3 was released in Japan in July 2006, followed by North American and European releases in September and November, respectively. Reception. The game received mixed reviews. It was praised for its unique gameplay, graphics, and crossover appeal but was criticized for its reliance on stylus controls, which some players found cumbersome. Impact and legacy. While Mario Hoops 3-on-3 didn't receive sequels, it left a legacy as a memorable collaboration between Nintendo and Square Enix and showed the potential of the DS's touchscreen for innovative control schemes. 4.